All right, hello and good morning. Of course, you're joining in here for Flex's Legal Bit, and we are kicking off another edition. We're going to do this like an insider edition. And don't forget, when I do this stuff, Leslie likes to throw things in there. Say hi, Leslie.
Hi.
There you go. So, of course, we are sitting with none other than Mr. Chavez here, and he is a promoter for a new drug coming out. No, he's not. He's not doing that. He's actually part of the school district here in Edinburgh and over at Robert Vela High School. So, how's it been so far?
Awesome. Amazing.
Yeah? Liking it?
I love it. Of course.
You're like, go, yeah.
Saber cat. Go Saber cat.
All right. Of course, we're going to be sitting in here to let you know a little bit about a scholarship that we have going on, and that is happening right now. The deadline's coming up here pretty quickly in May. And tell us a little bit about yourself, your experience there with Robert Vela High School.
So it's been an amazing journey. I've been with Vela for 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
I used to work at a charter school and at the university. So this has been like a public school environment. So I love the experience of his staff, students, and the community as well.
A lot different than university.
Oh, yeah.
Life.
Very, very, very different.
Yep.
Yes, because I would deal with college students. Now it's high school students.
A little easier, harder?
It's challenging. It's challenging.
We can edit.
Yeah, we can. It's been challenging, but it's been a rewarding experience when they do attend a university or institution. It's amazing when they do go out there in the world.
So a counselor in both settings, with the university and here?
So at the university, I was assistant director for admissions and orientation. And a recruiter as well, so I had different territories.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I had the opportunity to come to a public setting, I was like, I wanted to see what goes inside a high school setting.
Yeah.
Because we would get the applications, and it was like, application, go into orientation, ACT, SAT. But I was like, what goes inside a high school? Like the application process, seniors applying, what they need help with. And it was a huge transition,
right?
Getting the college setting to a high school setting, because you're dealing with two different audience.
It's kind of like the before and then the after.
Yes.
So we have a big scholarship that we are trying to participate to give away, and we do this every year to where we give not one but two scholarships, and kind of trying to see where that fits in with high school. I know there's a whole process. It's been such a long time since I was a senior, but what should students do as far as scholarships? Like how does that process even begin?
So the scholarship process, I always tell the kids, we got to research. The keyword is research.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes scholarships are given to students without even applying. What does that mean is they apply Texas or any school that they apply to. So it's based on merit scholarship. So that is based on your GPA, your ranking, what you do. They don't care how much mom and dad make. They don't care if you've been in volunteer work. And then there's different types of scholarship. For example, the need-based, that's based on your parents' income.
Right.
Then the local scholarships, like the ones that we have here, the ones that you guys are offering. So that's a local scholarship, only selected for Vela kids. So only I can apply for that scholarship.
Okay.
So there's different types of them. We want them to apply once the application opens up.
Okay.
Do a little bit more of the research on that side.
So it's not like is there a really big timetable? Then not like, when you're a senior, you got to 2 weeks in, let's go start and get everything to go.
So the application process for some scholarships open up in July. So during the summer break, they start already applying for those scholarships. Then some of them open in October, November, and then we have some of them that open in February. So there's different time frames that they do.
Yeah.
So I recommend kids to during the summer or even their junior year, start thinking of what school they want to apply to, because right away, May is last day of school, and then a month and 2 months, and they start applying in June, July. During their summer break.
Yeah.
So that's when they start applying for scholarships and also for admission purposes. So the time frame is usually depending on the school, depending on the scholarship, and when is the deadline, and that's a big thing. Like this week, we have 3 deadlines.
Oh, yeah.
Scholarships, so it's back to back. So right now, our office was swamped. Like I need a transcript, and I put my resume, and my essay. So like which college is that one? So it is. The time frame is very different for all scholarships.
And so I'm bet you that time is it's flying by quick, right?
It's flying. We the 3 ones that we have this week. One is today, Thursday, and Friday. So
to make sure they're all in.
Yes, and then some of them have to be postmarked.
Oh,
they tell the kids if it's for example, your scholarship, it's basically online and it's automatically. So it's perfectly. I can do it at midnight. 11:30 at night. But if it's a postmark, hey, the post office closes at 6:30, 5:30. So we have to kind of get to the application as soon as possible. So,
and of course, kids don't procrastinate.
Oh no, I read like kids style. No.
So when they're applying for scholarships, do you suggest they apply for every single one? Is there certain criteria that only fits to certain kids? Or
so that's a tricky question because yes and no.
Okay.
So for example, if there's a scholarship for athletes, and I'm not an athlete, then I'm not applying for that.
Right.
So there are scholarships out there that says, hey, we just need your ranking, your GPA, and tell me a little bit more about yourself. Then apply for that one.
Right.
So don't waste your time on scholarships that you know you're not going to get. So for example, if I have a GPA of a blah, 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 and that says, yeah, I have a 4.0 GPA, but I don't have it, then why am I wasting my time to apply for that scholarship?
Yeah.
So use your resources, use your time wisely, and yes, apply for every scholarship that you know you might get. Sometimes we can apply for 20,000 scholarships and we can only get one. But
At least
we
you got one.
know if you got one, right?
Yeah.
So it could be $50 to $10,000, but the price that the amount they're giving you is enough when you go to school.
Yeah. No.
But yeah, so depending on the scholarship, it could be a social interest. It could be maybe if your parents are working in an organization, apply for that scholarship. So apply for the ones that you know you might get. So don't waste your time, basically.
I know, if I'm, well, hopefully I'm not mistaken. Well, I guess you'll see, but there's academic scholarships,
Correct.
right? And then there's just...
So there's academic, which is a merit-based. So for example, a university says, are you top 10%? You have an ACT of a 24? Perfect. We're going to give you a first-time scholarship.
Right.
$1,000 or $10,000. So that's based on your merit. So they don't care about, of course, the income of the parents. They don't care of anything else. And then you need the need-based. That is based on your parents' income, based on the household. So I know like some universities have, if your parents make a 175 or lower, you can get the scholarship. So there's different types. Local, as long as you live in the Edinburgh area, for example, yours, if you're up at high school. So other high schools from ETIZ cannot apply because yours is only for the high school.
Right.
And other high schools have their own scholarship as well. So don't think like, oh, I can't get the scholarship because the other 3 high schools have their own specific one.
Right. And then a lot of them, majority of them, right, is to write an essay.
Yes.
Or to tell them a little bit about themselves. So what goes into writing that essay? What should it entail?
So that's the number one. When they started applying for scholarship and they have everything ready, that's the essay is the one that it's like, yikes. Like they wait till the last minute, and that's basically what they're doing
Right now.
on office. So it is hard to talk about yourself, and that's okay. I took it. It's okay. So that's when you have your friends, your family, your teachers saying, is there something that stands out about me? Like maybe your character, maybe something that's unique.
Right.
So the essay has to be something that the organization scholarship doesn't know about you. So be unique, be yourself. Show an interest in the essay. Show an interest about the scholarship. Like, why should I get this scholarship? Well, because of my professional goals, because of my community service, because I've done so much work at the high school that I deserve the scholarship. So I tell the kids, don't feel like, oh my God, I'm begging for the scholarship. I'm like,
Yeah.
I want that money. So the essay is your presentation. It's who you are. So I tell the kids, remember, when the committee is reading your essay, they're thinking of you. They're imagining you who you are.
Right.
Because it's like reading a book. You're reading a book, you're like, hey, I'm thinking about what's going on. So the reader has to be like, okay, Jose Chavez is in National Honor Society. He went to and volunteered. Oh my God, he helped. So you're giving them a story.
Right.
So the essay has to be unique. Now, keep in mind, sometimes essays only 1 page. So you have to make sure what you want to add, what you have to add. If you're submitting your transcript, for example, you're at a scholarship, the transcript is required. Okay. So as an organization, you're like, okay, he's top number 5. He's AP dual. So the transcript has all that information. Don't write that on the essay because they already know that you wrote it out. They know that you are from Edinburgh. They know your name. So start first sentence, that's going to get their attention. So that way you have enough space to talk about who you are.
Right.
At the end, I tell the kids, you're being unique. Write who you are, and see what happens.
So long as you make it shine.
Correct.
Is it good?
It's your presentation. I go take pride of that. It's your resume.
Right.
I said that's who you're representing yourself basically when they're reading the essay.
So for any kids doing it now, any non-procrastinators, right? Or any kids in the future, do you have any kind of tips that you can give them? Maybe little suggestions as far as, you're saying, right, that you're unique, but anything else that you feel if they were to add in, they would kind of help them? So
I know I talk about the academics and volunteer work and everything. So I tell the kids, I was one of those students that didn't volunteer. I was not taking AP or dual courses, right? And my essay was like, I have to write about my family.
Yeah.
Like, why couldn't I volunteer? Why couldn't I go on a Saturday to clean up the beach or something, right?
Right.
And the reason why is because I had to work. I had to take care of my sister You know, I had to be at home at 4 or 5. And that was my responsibility as in the household.
Mhm.
My essay was like, I know I couldn't volunteer, but my responsibility was here. So I showed about time management, you know, committed, you know, being responsible, taking care of my siblings was a responsibility.
Right.
You know, going to work was a responsibility, being on time. So my essay that was my presentation.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny because my only scholarship I got in high school was from an attorney.
Was it really?
It was an attorney. It's hard to find the name of the attorney, but it was like, graduated many years ago, 1900s. But it was from an attorney, and it was, I believe, like 100 or 150. And my father came up to me like, hey, an attorney, you know, it was 150, and I was super excited. And I was like, what do I do? Like, what do I do? And he was like, let's go to Globe Supermarket to cash it, because I don't even remember that, but Globe Supermarket.
Yeah.
Right? And it was like, let's go cash it. And I was like, what do I do? And it was like, okay, I'm going to UTPA, my books, certification. So I use that money for things that I needed.
Yeah.
But going back to the essay was like, that's who I was. I was not going to lie like, oh, I did volunteer at the pet shelter.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
because I had to write something about who I was and who my family was. And that's a tip I give kids, like, maybe you didn't volunteer, but talk about what you do at home. You know, sometimes we're very shy. We don't disclose that with teachers or administration. But your essay is your essay, and the organizations are the one reading it. We don't read it.
Right.
You know, I always tell, like, first thing you want to write in the essay is like, just do a journal. Like,
Okay.
I tell the kids, being in my office and writing your essay, it's a big no-no. There's a lot of people talking. The phone's ringing. I'm telling you guys, go to class. I tell the kids, the best thing is go home and you're laying down and you're just writing down a journal. This is who you are. Write a letter to your friend like, hey, I haven't seen you for a while. This is what I've been doing. This is what I've been up to. And then that is your first draft. And there's going to be different drafts along the way.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the advice I give the kids is like, write your essay as a journal first. Don't think about punctuation. Don't think about on sentences. Like, don't think about anything. Just reply it. And then go back and you're like, oh, I was thinking about this. So that draft could become something else in the future. So for other essays
to submit. So yeah, you're saying about punctuation. Does that actually play a big part in teaching? That'll kind of sway. I'm only asking because I may or may not have read over some of the answers. Okay, but yeah, you think that actually has any play in it?
The punctuation
and sentence structure.
Okay, this is the way I see it. If an organization is getting that essay, one, maybe that kid did it that day, right? Or they did it on their own.
Yeah.
If it's a perfect essay, they took time, right? But sometimes it doesn't play a factor because there's other stuff that they can go into, like the volunteer work, the resume. But it's up to the organization to say, no. There are some organizations that have reached out to me saying, look, Mr. Chavez, you know, I know you don't see what they upload because they could do it at home.
Right.
But sometimes they upload the essay and there's a lot of misspelled words.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, what do I do, right? Like, as myself, but I tell the kids, like, proofread. But sometimes in a panic mode, we write essays like, oh, it's perfect, and we upload it.
Yeah.
So they start to panic. I don't know how the organization can take it. I know some organization says, if we have misspelled words or something that is not grammatically correct, they won't see it. Like, they completely don't see it. Yes, they don't see it. But
I think that'd be more academic seat,
yeah,
right?
my defense is more, and it's not like they're high school students, like they're high school. Now, if it was like scholarship for a full ride, $50,000, right?
Yeah.
But they're high school students, you know, so they can make mistakes, you know, but it's up to the organization, you know, it's up to
stay tuned for our next episode where we're going to teach people about there, and there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah, that's it.
But well, thank you so much for coming out here to let us know more about the scholarship. And anybody that wants to go out there, of course, they can contact you there at Robert Vela High School.
Yes, yeah, they can. They can contact me, assistance with anything college writing is. It's jose.chavez@ecisd.us. And if you're from other high schools, reach out to your college counselors. You know, they can help you on anything that you need to.
You can find them on Facebook, or you can get a hold of them 24/7.
Yes.
Any more information, of course, you can reach out to us here. Don't forget, Robert Vela High School students, this scholarship is for you. If you want to apply, you can check on our website, www.raulguajardo.com. They have a little link on there. You click on that, and you can submit that information. And then things you'll need, like transcript and stuff. That
Yes, when you do, you have to see me, room 300. That way I can send me a transcript and any other things I need to send to.
You might want to have him proofread your entry too.
Yes.
But of course, give us a call, 956-318-3200. You can also find us on all of our social media outlets like Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And if you need any more information, be sure to hit us up and we'll get back to you. But of course, thank you so much for joining in to this edition of Flex's Legal Bit, and we'll see you on the next one.